Hey everyone, today we're digging into something that tries to answer a massive question for anyone who creates art or culture. How do you actually get paid fairly for your work? Not just once, but for your entire life. Let's get into it. So, let's just start with this one simple but kind of mind blowing idea. Think about a painter or a musician or a traditional craftsman. They pour their soul into something, they sell it once, and that's usually it. But what if it wasn't? What if they got a piece of the pie every single time that work changed hands, from now on, forever? Because, the way things are set up right now, the person who actually creates all the value is often the one who gets the least out of it. This is especially true when you have to go through a gallery or some other middleman. As soon as that first sale is done, their financial connection to that piece of art is just gone. And you can really see the difference here. The old way, a gallery might take a 50% cut right off the top. And then, if that same piece gets sold again 10 years later for 10 times the price, the artist gets nothing. Zero. All that new value goes to the collector or the auction house. But the model on the right, from a platform called Chat, flips that script completely. And that brings us to Chat. It's built from the ground up to create a much fairer system for what it calls cultural heritage. And we're not talking about a little tweak here or there. This is a total rewrite of the rules of who owns what and who earns what. So what is CHAT exactly? Well, the easiest way to wrap your head around it is to think of it like YouTube, but for cultural assets. And a cultural asset can be anything, right? It could be physical art, like traditional beadwork, or something intangible, like music, folklore, or even stories passed down through generations. The whole point is for creators to earn directly, with a system that just keeps paying them. Okay, so how does an artist actually use this? What does that journey from creating something to getting paid actually look like? Well, it's surprisingly simple. Let's walk through it. It's really just three basic steps. First, the artist uploads their work, with a good description and some photos. But step two is the secret sauce. Before anything is listed, a council of experts from that specific community, we're talking elders, historians, other artists, verifies that the work is the real deal, it's authentic. This protects both the culture and the person buying it. Once it gets the green light, it's live on the marketplace for anyone to see. And this shows you exactly what happens when someone buys it. Let's just say a piece sells for $100. A huge 70% of that, $70, goes straight into the artist's digital wallet, instantly. 20% goes into a special fund for the community, which we'll talk about in a sec, and only 10% goes to keep the platform running. But this is the real game changer. After that first sale, the artist keeps earning. Every single time that piece is sold again to someone new, the original creator automatically gets a 5% royalty. Not just once, not for 10 years, but forever. This creates a real potential stream of passive income for life. But this whole system is bigger than just helping individual artists. Remember that 20% from every sale? That money gets pooled into something really powerful for the whole community, the Cultural Conservation Fund. And this is where it gets really smart. The money in that fund isn't just spent right away. It's actually locked for 2 years, and it's invested to earn around 12% a year. So the community's own money is actually growing, making the fund way more powerful before they even spend a dime of it. Then, after those 2 years, the community gets to vote on how to use that bigger pot of money. And look at the kind of real-world impact we're talking about here. They might decide to fund classes to save an endangered language, or pay elders to teach traditional crafts to young people, or even build a brand new cultural center. So what about the other side of this whole equation? What's in it for the people who are actually buying this stuff? Well, CHT totally redefines what it means to be a collector. You're not just a buyer anymore. You're an active supporter of the culture itself. For a collector, the value is just huge. First off, you know for a fact that you're buying authentic work because it's been verified by the experts. You also know that most of your money is going straight to the person who made it and that you're helping preserve that culture. And on top of all that, you actually get a vote in how that conservation money gets spent. Okay, so these numbers and ideas are all great, but let's make it feel a bit more real. Let's take a look at the story of Amara. She's a Maasai beadwork artist, and her story really shows how this all plays out for one person over a few years. So in her first year, Amara makes a pretty modest $70 from a few sales. But then that royalty system starts to kick in. The next year, she makes another $30 without even selling anything new. It's just from her old work being resold. As she gets more well-known, her new pieces sell for more, and the resales keep stacking up. By year 5, she's earned over $1,500, and she's still getting passive income every single year. But her influence goes way beyond just her own bank account. As a creator on the platform, Amara gets a vote. She personally had a say in deciding to use $50,000 from that conservation fund to help preserve her own Maasai language. So it's not just about money. It's about having real power to protect your own culture. All right, so we've looked at all the different parts of this. Let's kind of pull back for a second and just sum up the big picture. What are the key things to take away here? Why does a platform like Chat actually matter? It really boils down to this simple 3-part win. For the creators, you're talking about fair pay, those forever royalties, and having control over their own work. For collectors, it's about knowing what you're buying is real and that you're directly supporting an artist. And for the entire community, it's a way to fund themselves, to preserve their most important traditions for the next generation. And all of this really leads us to one final big question. In a world where culture can be bought and sold so easily, who should be the one to truly own and profit from a people's story? CH offers one very powerful answer: the creators and the communities themselves. Thanks for tuning in.